2024 was a politically extremely interesting year. Certainly the elections in the United States, the elections for the European Parliament, and the establishment of the new European Commission, which is in itself extremely important for Serbia as EU accession country with a very ambitious target of completing our homework, so all of the reforms that we need to do on our EU path by the end of 2026. I think that again, both the new European Commission and the results of the elections in the United States will probably open up new challenges in 2025, which will be, I think, something that smaller countries like Serbia, a country of 6.8 million people, will have to deal with both in 2025 and then continuing for the next 4 or 5 years. Well, it's a good question. The EU membership is, or EU accession is a strategic priority in terms of foreign policy for the Republic of Serbia. And as I have said, our goal is to complete all of the internal reforms by the end of 2026. But then when we become part of the EU, depends really on the decision taken by individual EU member countries. So we will see. In my view, it's important because Serbia and the Western Balkans in general is part of Europe. When you look at our economy, 65 to almost 70% of all of our investments do come from the EU. EU is our by far biggest trading partner. 65% or more of our exports go to the EU. So we are critically, I would say, interlinked with the European economy. We are geographically and from the historical point of view part of Europe, and that will never change. So I think the decision that we become part of the European Union is, regardless of all of the reforms which obviously need to be made, is at the end of the day going to be a political decision, strategic decision made by the EU and individual EU member states. But I think it's as important for the EU as it is for Serbia or for that part the rest of the Western Balkans.
Yeah, to have a membership.
I think it's a win-win, and it should happen sooner rather than later. And the longer it does not happen, is a lose-lose for the EU and for Serbia, and that is for the Western Balkans as well.
And even more in a changing world.
I think as the situation in the world gets more complex and more complicated and more challenging, I think the decision by the EU to actually not, in terms of Western Balkans, it's not to enlarge, it's to actually encompass, because the Western Balkan itself is surrounded by the European Union. So it's not enlargement, it's really to make the EU one whole. And then I think the enlargement is the issue of Moldova and Ukraine, but the Western Balkans is about encompassment. Climate change has huge consequences on Serbia, the same way as it has huge consequences on almost all countries worldwide. For Serbia, we suffer in terms of agriculture. It's either we either have floods or we have droughts. We have to invest more and more into agriculture. We have to, and we are hugely investing in technology in agriculture. So to change and digitalize our agriculture, to help our farmers make better and more efficient decisions, thanks to based on satellite images, based on information about the soil. we will slowly have to start changing the crops that we have because of the climate change. And many other things as well. But I think that climate change is the consequences that we all suffer are more graver and are coming much more quickly than anyone anticipated. And I think that the entire world together needs to face these consequences, and we together need to work on actually restoring our climate and our environment. And that needs to happen by utilizing and combining all of our worldwide know-how and technology. And unfortunately, even then, I think it would be questionable what we could do. But what is a cause of fear is that we are not even doing it. So the world did not come together around the climate change issue. And at the end of the day, those that will suffer the most are again those that have suffered in the past, the poor countries, those that already lag behind. And I think it's a concern that we need to again come together around, and I hope that we will find vehicles to do that. I'm not overly optimistic about that, but if anything, I think that the technology can help us overcome these challenges. And my country, Serbia, although we are a small country, we are currently presiding over a global partnership on artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence can help us do that, and technology can help countries change for the better in a very, very short time frame. I've seen it in my country. We are now one of the European leaders in technology, and we weren't even close to that up until 10 years ago. So technology can help countries and societies change fast and for the better, add value to economy, to the entire countries. And now we are presiding over, as I said, global partnership on AI in 2025. So I think technology can help. But we need to come together, and that is a political decision which is very challenging, and it takes a very different kind of being brave from politicians worldwide.